is Ontario Craft Cider Month, an opportunity to celebrate local cider, and this industry has seen huge growth over the last few years. And joining us to talk more about it is cider enthusiast Britt Dixon, who also works closely in the industry as well. Britt,
yes,
I know. To have you back.
It's so good to be back. Well, as you know, I work at Brock University's Cool Climate Enology and Viticulture Institute. So research and education, continuing education, outreach events, all for the wine industry. Many wineries are now producing cider. So Brock has launched cider courses over the last several years. We're teaching people how to make cider, and there's such a growing demand for it that there's now advanced courses which start next week.
And I feel so lucky you're here with us because it's Cider 101 on the Evening News. So for people who don't know what cider is, what goes into it, and why it's so popular.
Yes. Okay, so cider is fermented apples. More like a wine, because of course wine is fermented grapes, more so than a beer. And one of the things that makes it quite popular is because it's gluten-free. So people who have dietary restrictions, who are staying away from gluten, this is a nice, easy drinking, light drink, crisp, refreshing. Think about a day like today, sitting out on a patio, drinking a pint of cider, lower alcohol than wine. And these cider makers in Ontario, they just know where it's at in terms of their innovation and their experimentation, and which is why this industry has become so popular.
It's really booming. They've extended it from a cider week to a cider month, first time in Ontario.
Yeah, so it was a week-long sort of annual tradition, and now it's a month-long to celebrate this. And so you can just see by the range of different ciders on this table how different they are and how diverse they are. So Fielding Estates Winery makes a cider.
And this is in Niagara.
This is in Niagara. This is in Beamsville. And this cider, if you take a look at it, it's pretty clear. This is like your crisp, light, refreshing sort of cider. Over here, West Avenue Cider, this is a cidery in Hamilton, where about 5 years ago I did a story with CH when they were planting their cider orchard. And this is sort of like a unfiltered, wild yeast, like put it in the barrel, let it do its thing. You can see just how cloudy that is compared to that one. So like just a crazy range between those two. If you move over here, this is infused with peach. This one has Pinot Noir in it, so wine in with the cider. And then I need to get you to try this. Like, just give it a little smell. Tell me what you think is in there.
Oh, wow. That has some mint, which is so different for a cider.
Yeah, so this is a mint and basil. So, you know, these cider makers are even infusing cider with different herbs or aging them in like bourbon barrels or rum barrels to like really take on unique flavors. So there really is a cider for everyone.
And I mean, this is obviously a growing industry as we've been talking about. What's the growth like, and how's the province and the federal government really pitching in and chipping in for this industry?
Okay, so now in Ontario there are about 70 craft cider producers compared to about 5 years ago where there was like a handful. And it's just booming, and I think people are recognizing just how popular this drink is becoming. And recently, we know for Ontario Craft Cider Month, the government made some investments in Fielding and Ironwood over here, which operates with Sunnybrook Farms Winery. And they've invested in some new equipment because they know that this industry is booming and helping to support local. And it really does support local because this is Ontario apples, everything that's in there, 100% Ontario apples.
And finally, Britt, I mean, people who are watching this might be getting a little bit thirsty at home, wanting to go out on a patio. How can people celebrate Ontario's first ever cider month?
You know what? Probably wherever you live, near you, in terms of restaurants or LCBOs, there are events happening. A lot of these cideries have crafted specific ciders for Ontario Craft Cider Month. So they're on taps at different restaurants. There's special tasting in some LCBO stores. So really trying to like showcase and introduce people to cider that might not have tried it yet.
Britt Dixon, it is so great to have you back here at CHCH.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.